You down with LCS? You down with LCS? You down with LCS? Who's down with LCS? You down with LCS? You down with LCS? You down with LCS? Who down with LCS?
Good morning and welcome to the first official episode of Saturday Morning Comics. Back on a Saturday after, I don't know, a little bit of a break for a while. I was on Sundays and special guest with me this morning, Mr. Cliff. Good morning, sir.
Hello. Good morning. I know I've been keeping Saturday morning nice and toasty for everyone.
I appreciate that. Yeah, it was kind of weird. I mean, I didn't mind Sundays, but it was a little weird after streaming for so long on a Saturday, and then I bumped the time. I started at 9:45 because Bleecker was on Sundays at 10:45, so I didn't want to try not to overlap with him, and that 15 minutes kind of always threw me off.
Right, we're like, oh, it's 10:40. Let's wrap this up.
Yeah. So, but yeah, so we're back. I'm back on Saturdays, and we're gonna kind of be alternating the time slot going forward. You'll be live next Saturday, and then I'll be live the Saturday after that. We're gonna flip flop. I think there's the first week in February. I'm on vacation, so I think
I'll be here.
Yes, Cliff will be holding it down.
I'll be holding it down. I have the calendar set up. I'm like, I am ready. Which my January is fairly open. So if anyone's interested, there's still cocktails and comics and coffee and comics ready.
Very nice. Open invite. Fine, Cliff. He's what? And you're trying to break a record, right? You last January you on how many live streams?
Oh my gosh! Like I think I lost count, but it was a lot. It was enough that at one point, Frog Brawler was like, "Oh my god! Like why is he?" Frog Brawler was sick at the time, and he's like, "Who is this guy? Why is he on every single show that I watch?" And I was like, I think it was 20 shows, 22 shows. I know it was in the 20s. So okay. I want to see if I can break the record for this January.
And you're already double dipping today, right? You're here, and then you're only slabs this afternoon, right?
Yeah, triple dipping because then I have a third show tonight, which I keep forgetting the proper name of, and I'm gonna find it because it's making me absolutely crazy. Because it's called the Nerdy something. Oh my god, it's like Nerdsy something. It's driving me nuts that I can't remember. Oh my god, YouTube. Okay. Let's see. You know what you do? I was like, you keep doing you, and I'll just find it.
I'm gonna check in with the chat. Say hello, good morning to everybody. Tony's here this morning. Beat Las Cruces in. Good to see. Phil is here. Good morning, Phil. Appreciate you being here. JSS. Good morning. Oh yeah, Nate. Good morning.
Nate.
Bruce is here. Good morning. Appreciate you being here. And look. Cliff, double dipping as well. He's live on streaming on his channel as well.
As Chris the Comic Vet says, omnipresent.
Yes. Mike is here. Good morning, Mike. Cat Fan's here. Good morning. Back on hopefully Cat Fan, this is better for you. A little later start, and we're back on Saturdays. Terry's here. Good morning. Aaron's here. Good morning. We got a bunch of people hanging out with us. 1063 Comics. Good morning. Dope is here. What's up, Dope? Let's see. Everybody's saying good morning to everybody. DJ stopping in. Very nice. We got a super chat. Very nice. JSS, thank you very much. I'm still working on some of new show. Wanted to do some new clips and things like that. I started to do some, but haven't done. I still have some work to do. Let's put it that way. I was trying to get ahead on some videos yesterday for the month because I'm going to be out of town for a little while at some point this month. So let's see. We gotta. That's an old clip.
Indeed.
I don't know why I did that.
I found it. Nerdy Musings. I will be on Nerdy Musings tonight.
Oh, okay. You'll have to post a link.
I will, because I don't. I'm a mess about it. I'm a mess. Let's see. Cheddar Comics has been on there. Brandon Mon has been on there. Mike from
Lunch Money
Comics, he's been there.
Okay.
They've had Chris Tung on. I don't even know who Joshua Durstein is. I'm like, but okay. And then like Marvel's Justin Mason. So yeah, this is very interesting. I feel wildly unprepared. I can't wait.
So are you just, is it a guest? You're just a hangout, or are you being interviewed?
I'm being interviewed. So I'm very excited. But I'm based on Mon and Lunch Monies. I'm just like, I'm trying to balance out like how it's going to be. So it's going to be a whole day of me talking about my slabs and my comics. It's going to be great.
So when we see you later on Only Slabs is, let's see, what do you got? You got about 9. You've got about 40 slabs behind you will they be coming off the wall?
Oh no, the ones on the wall have already made appearances, with maybe a couple of exceptions.
Oh, okay.
So it's gigantic.
Stack.
Yep.
Very nice.
Oh, my neck. Oh.
Watch your back.
I'll get to debut this new thing.
Oh, are you going to be?
So this is I'm gonna set this camera up for the slab.
A slab camera.
Yeah, I hope. Right, I hope, because I want. This is my second appearance. All right, I gotta step my game up. I want to be bougie AF. All right, with the camera and everything. This actually was a Christmas gift. No, sorry, a birthday gift from my friend Chris, who has photography and engineering expertise. And this thing, I could kill an intruder with it. I mean, it is serious. And then it has the nerve to say, "Oh, if your camera's too heavy, just put a block on here, no problem." And I'm like, I could already knock someone unconscious. Like,
yeah, it looks heavy. It looks heavy. Yeah, it
is wonderful. I love it, and I already tested it with my personal phone today. And so when we're done this morning, I'm going to test it with the Samsung that I bought, and we'll see how it goes, because I feel like I'm going to get a lot of use out of this thing. But I feel like it's only right for it to make its debut for Only Slabs.
Very nice. Christina Payne is here. Good morning, Christina. Phil is lurking. He is double dad duty. Zone defense, Phil. That's your best way to go. When you're home alone with 2 kids. No, you can't do man to man. You got to play zone.
You're not even the first person to tell me that. And I had dinner with a high school friend last night, and we were talking about parenthood and relationships, whatever. And we had our younger friend who used to work with us was sitting with us, and he was talking about relationships, and Matt is a father of 2 now, and married, and like all sorts of things that he was really struggling with seeing himself with when he was younger. And now it's here. He's like, I've got a boy, I've got a girl, I've got my wife, we've got all this stuff going on. And I turned to my friend Jesse. I said, Jesse, you'll probably find someone. And I said, and it's going to be right, because it won't feel easy, but it will feel natural, because relationships are give and take. And when you're with someone where, even though like it's still a struggle doing the give and take, but it feels natural, that's how you know it's the one, that there's give and take and it feels natural for both of you. It will. And Matt just looked at me. He's like, damn, that was insightful. And he was like, that's exactly how it feels. And I was like, I know, I can't wait to find it again for me.
Compromise is certainly important.
Absolutely. But it should feel natural. It should feel good, and you shouldn't feel like you're taking advantage of one another. There shouldn't be that. you know?
Yeah. No, that's. Yeah, my wife and I just celebrated our 25th wedding anniversary last month. So, yeah, I understand.
I was gonna say, I'm sure you have many years of experience in understanding.
MJ Comics is here. Good, not morning, probably afternoon for him. Bad Boy Prime with the let's see, does Matt still dance? I kind of, because this video was I think I deleted the Matt dancing videos because
We need the new I can see your Adonis hips Matt dancing
well,
video.
yeah, and that's that. To be fair, he's been exercising and he looks good, and so I wanted to get rid of the old clips, but I may have one. Let's see. Let's see what I That's the only one that's still left because, like I said, I wanted to be fair. And did you see Roscoe? Roscoe posted a post up on Instagram.
Yep, I saw.
Where he's been working on losing weight, and I'm going off memory here. He's dropped like 170 pounds or something.
Absolutely, yes, amazing.
Like he's lost a person. He's lost. And just crazy, but he posted a before and after picture of himself, and he looks amazing, and that's an accomplishment to lose that amount of weight. That's crazy. So hopefully, I'm sure he's feeling so much better now. So hopefully we'll get Roscoe back this year on the Monday part of the Monday night lineup for sure. So. Elron is here. Good morning. Jerry's here. Good morning.
Jerry.
Aggressively's here. Wow, we got a lot of people hanging out with us.
Saturday mornings is lit. It's lit.
Yeah. Well, Fanboy was kicking it off this morning with Lady Prime. They were doing a cover battle. So
I caught the tiniest glimpse of that. I try to at least have it running in the background while I'm doing morning errands and craziness.
Yeah, I jumped in for a little while and then kind of had to get ready and shower and stuff to make myself look pretty for this show. So I had it just running in the background as well. So Drew is here. Good morning, Drew. Let's see. Comics and tortillas. Ooh, that's a combination. Pretty good nerds. Justin's here. Comic fans here. Random reads. Wow, it's the power of Cliff. Cliff shows up and everybody comes out. Nam is here. Good morning.
Combo power. It's combo power.
Let's see. Taco's here. He's up early on the West Coast. Let's see. So Cliff, I've seen a lot of, obviously beginning in the new year and a lot of goal videos, updates, end of year updates. What, and I haven't done one and I probably won't. I'll probably just talk about some of the things that I'm focused on for 2025, during some of these live streams. But how about you? What,
all of mine have been snuck into other live streams, and it's really
what's the big what are some of the big goals for 2025?
My big goals for 2025 is publish my comic book and go to Heroes Con, and I don't know, it's good. Publishing the comic book is going to be really a struggle, and it's funny because some people understand, some people don't understand, some people think that I have not been investigating this forever, and I have, and that's why there's such a struggle. Dope Comics, my favorite villain, I feel like there's a lot of overlap between Dr. Doom and Lex Luthor, but I like Dr. Doom so much more. And of course, as usual, he keeps having these moments of anti-hero, and I'm like, yeah, whatever. I'm like, the guy's just trying to rule the world, everybody. Like, let's keep it simple. But yeah, and I think because when I get really angry at the world, I go into totalitarian mode, and yeah, Dr. Doom is my type of villain, and maybe that's really the wrong way of going about it. You know, is that like I like him as a villain because if I snapped and was powerful, that's the way I would go. Like, you know. Also, I love Magneto. He's right up there with me. Both of them, I think, are fantastic.
That's good. They're good choices. Yeah, you know, I think the thing when you mentioned Doom and Lex, you know, Doom just looks, you know, if you just showed somebody the pictures of the two guys and they didn't have any background on the characters, you know, Doom just looks cooler.
He does. He's fantastic, and all those covers. 1063. Thank you so much. I appreciate you.
So Mike's goal for 2025 is to survive.
We all got to survive, baby. We all got to survive. Royal Cliff from JSS, you know.
So you were saying, so what's the goal with your comic book? Are you going to do Kickstarter or?
Oh yeah, I'll do Kickstarter and everything. And but the thing is, right? Like so things that people need to understand. You have to have things in play for your Kickstarter, right? So I need money to do things to make that happen so I can get the Kickstarter to publish it and predict, you know what I'm saying? Like, right. So it's really difficult. Like, you know, you're reaching out to, you want a good artist, right? You're going to pay good money for that artist, you know? So, and on top of that, I'm asking artists to produce all these ideas for me on paper and then go and get my copyright and my trademark, you know? And again, I'm going to self-publish, you know, and the majority of people on Kickstarter end up remaining self-published. And I got into this with somebody the other night. I was hoping to maybe land a publisher just to not have to deal with a lot of that, you know, but that's it. I don't need a publisher. Like, you know, it's like, it's not, but it would have been nice to not deal with the publishing end of things. And now all of that is my responsibility, just to produce enough of a product to show people what they're investing in, right? And then have something to hit the market. The other thing is there's a lot of characters I'm interested in writing. And so I figured my first book should be an anthology. And I wrote 3 stories, and you could read those stories probably in 5 or 10 minutes, right? But the way that I wish for it to be illustrated, it's probably already at 40-something pages. So, you know, now we're talking about what, like, you know, what am I producing? Like, what kind of comic? You know, so I'm probably gonna need to get an editor to help me with that. So it's all sorts of things, but you know, and I may have to do something, you know, I may have to do something regrettable to get me the initial funding. So, you know, and people are thinking, oh, what could be regrettable? But like, you know what regret is, you know, asking people for money that you don't want to ask for money, but you have no choice. So,
well, I mean, the good news is, right, I mean, the community, obviously the community is very supportive of projects. So that's, you know, that's to your, you know, benefit when you do the Kickstarter. Like I was, when I did my Kickstarter for the Doctor, I was surprised, a little surprised, but just how quickly people jumped on it and helped back it. So, you know, you'll have the community support, but, you know, having that built in, having some type of audience already will certainly help. And, you know, I was doing some research on publishers and things like that. And it certainly, I think it's to your benefit long-term to have a project or 2 under your belt before you go and try to pitch something to, you know, a publisher. So I think that'll definitely benefit you.
Well, you know, it's really funny, right? Because I mean, if I'm going to and I have a distributor, isn't that funny? I have a distributor. I don't have a publisher. Go figure, right? Everyone's suggesting OnlyFans. I love this.
Yeah.
You know?
And Phil just had a big announcement. He did a full comic book, artwork for a full comic book. And so you definitely need to go check out his video that he dropped, Legacy with Legacy Comics. So interested to see that. He's been kind of teasing us about this project. He did a few covers last year in support of Comics Curing Cancer, and now he's got a full interior art, work for this for the comic. So that's pretty interesting to see that.
So I'm not sure how I want to go about my comic book collecting. Also, by the way, congratulations to Phil. Let me not undersell that. So, and I saw the video and it's great, and I'm very happy. Cliff, will you be using Kickstarter as your platform? It will be Kickstarter or it will be BackerKit. It depends on how things fly. A lot of people are telling me that BackerKit is more friendly for new publishers. Congratulations on your first grandchild, Tony.
That's awesome. That's big news. That's good news. Great news.
Yes. Although he won't be joining us at Heroes Con, so congratulations, Tony. Damn it.
Yeah, right. Well, the good thing is that there'll be Heroes Con next year too. So
absolutely.
Switch Comics. Marco's here. Good morning.
So I did not hit all of my comic book goals for this year, right? Because I got distracted and I was not very public. I didn't make like a whole video on what my goals were for the year, my collecting goals. So I don't feel too bad. And when you see Only Slabs today, you'll see where I hit certain markers. Also, thank you to members of the community who were like listening that I was looking for Marvel Team Up and Defenders, because there was an outpouring of like, Cliff, here's some Defenders comics, here's some Marvel Team Up, I have mucho Marvel Team Ups and Defenders. Of course, the harder to find issues of both I don't have, but that's okay. But now I have extras of other issues, so they could end up in fun little giveaways.
Oh, nice. Yeah, I'm working on the Team Up run too. I was just actually looking at it. So there's 150 issues in volume 1 of Team Up, and I'm a little bit. I think I have like 101 of the 150. So I think that's going to be one of the things that I focus on, because I'm working on so many different runs that I feel like I'm all over the place. Like, so I gotta kind of zero in on one, and I think like 50 issues, and Team Up isn't that expensive.
At the moment, that's the other thing, Rod. I kept to myself quietly my Marvel Team Up Defenders Invaders goals. Like, I just was like, I try to be as hush hush about it as possible, and like the more I was like looking for stuff, the more I'm like shoving people at a local Comic-Con away from me because they're trying to go for the first appearance of the Wrecking Crew, and I'm like, no, mine. I got the first appearance of the Wrecking Crew from Mike from Lunch Money Comics, and then around the corner from him at Cliff's Con is where I got the second issue of their second appearance, and that was a whole thing. So like, and the guy who was selling the second appearance, all his boxes said 50% off. And then as you pulled comics out of the box, there was a label on them that said no more than 12% off, no more than 22% off, no discounts. He labeled them individually. So the Wrecking Crew one had no discounts. But the other Marvel Team Ups I got from him were all 50% off. And then and there was the Deathlock Marvel Team Up that I wanted also said no discount. So I had to leave that one behind, And then another dude had early Marvel Team Ups, and there was 3 of them, and he wanted $100 for all 3. And I'm like,
you can find some deals on eBay.
No,
often they'll put them in lots, Marvel Team Up lots. Like 4 or 5 books. So you gotta poke around a little on eBay, but you can find them.
No, you will learn today all of my, with very few exceptions, okay? With the exception of books that were gifted to me or special deals that were made for me, the majority of my best deals of 2024 were entirely online. You know, and including one special issue of Action Comics where a guy recognized me as Cliff on Comics and said, and then said, I'm taking 150 off the book for you.
Oh, wow. Okay.
And I was like,
I'll take it.
I did take it. It was great.
I know. And there's quite a few people that are working on like the 2-in-1 run and Marvel team up. I know, like Eddie, I know Eddie from the Batcave, Manny the Hobgoblin Collector's working on team up. 2-in-1, I think Naaman's working on, so there's a number of community members that are working on, similar runs. So. Right. And that's the other thing too, is to mention what you're after, like in the community, maybe even in an IG post, because you kind of cast a wide net with the community. If somebody's out hunting books, or maybe they have it in a collection that in their PC and they really are not something they're looking to keep. So if there's certain books that you're looking for, it's always good to kind of mention it out in the community. So.
It's really fantastic because, like, I ended up with a couple of binary first appearances that, because for some reason, I did not have it. It was just like lost in my collection. Someone mentioned Captain Marvel 38, and like I found Captain Marvel 38 of the original series. Are we talking about the original series?
Yeah, he sang from Fawcett from 47. Scott.
Oh, that Captain Marvel. Oh, that would be more problematic, wouldn't it? That would be a rougher battle.
That's like Jerry the Jitterbug territory. That
is Jerry the Jitterbug territory. Wow, Captain Marvel captures the Chattanooga Ghost on the Sky Bridge in Rocky City Gardens. Yeah. Oh man.
Well, yeah, because Scott lives in he's in Tennessee, so yeah.
Yeah, of course. Like, let's get the Chattanooga Ghost. Get that on the wall, man. Like, let's do it.
What about are you, because I know you took a break at some point last year. Have you dipped back into picking up new books each week?
Yeah, and you know what? It's still very like draining, and like I don't know how you feel, but like, I mean, it's like it's brutal for me, like trying to maintain comic goals, trying to save for Heroes Con, trying to buy weekly comics. And like yesterday, I stopped by the comic shop to pick up what I had left behind, and I spent $66 with my discount,
Oh wow.
And yeah, I was, and it's just all sorts of things. It's like, and I put 2 books. This was after I put some books back, right? So one thing that I got was special was the Heroes Initiative Superman blank covers book, so I bought that. So like that was like for me, right? Like that was like an extra special thing for me. And then I got like some blank covers and like one book for a giveaway. And then I was like, well, what am I even doing? And I'm like, and there's stuff that I enjoy reading. I'm enjoying the Atom Project. I'm enjoying Black Lightning. I'm enjoying Justice League. I'm enjoying Ultimates. I'm enjoying Ultimate Spider-Man. I'm enjoying the Absolutes, except for Batman. And good morning, Legion of Comics. All right. Yes, Scotty, I hope it is going to be a good year. Oh man, Cat Fan, hunting for birthday books. I was looking into some books that are birthday books for me, and I was like, wow. I was like, maybe we won't be doing the greatest of 78s, yeah, I don't know, Tara. This year, I think I strangely want to focus on what do you call it? I would strangely want to focus on Absolute Batman is stupid good fun. You know what? Like when I like something because it's stupid good fun, usually I'm the one getting crapped on. So this is just my turn for reversal. You know, you want to read 3 issues of somebody running away from the same gang, have at it. Okay. In the meantime, Absolute Wonder Woman has a lasso that does the penance stare on you. Freaking great.
So I picked up all 3 Absolute, Wonder Woman, Superman, Batman, and the only one I'm continuing to read is Batman. I didn't Wonder Woman. I know a lot of people have talked good things about Wonder Woman. I didn't really care for issue 1, so I didn't continue. And the same with Superman. Superman was okay for me, so I'll probably read it, digitally, but I'm not picking up, the floppies.
Scotty asked about doing memberships in your chat, and anyhow, Scotty, you could do it during your live chat. It happens automatically. It costs you nothing, and off you go. So congratulations to my new members for Clip on Comics: Gene Mallow, Pocan Joe, Hello Humans, Wayne Deacon, and Mr. Spock, because I just gave away 5. So there you go.
So did you, but I know YouTube was talking about allowing creators to give and not cost anything. So did you actually have to pay for those?
No, it costs nothing.
Right. Okay. That's what I thought. Because I know YouTube had talked about that, deploying that feature at some point, but I wasn't sure if they had done that yet.
Oh, it's deployed. You can do it. And the first time I did it, I just clicked on it just to see what would happen. And it doesn't, like when you do a regular one, it shows you like you're about to pay. When you do the gift one, it's like gift now, and then that's it. And it doesn't charge anybody anything.
Okay. I'm gonna take a peek while I'm doing it. Oh, let's see. Yeah, membership gifting. I see it. Well, but now it comes up with the
with who it gifted it to.
No, but when I click on gift membership, right, so it shows me on my channel that, there's a cost associated with it.
Oh, that's weird. I wonder why.
I know. I read somewhere that YouTube was going to be doing that, allowing, channel owners to gift. But yeah, I don't see it.
On your own channel?
Yeah, so when I'm in another tab, I opened up,
and
YouTube.
It's gonna say one will say membership and one will say it'll say membership gifting, right? And then it'll say gift 5 now.
Yeah, but now next to get my 5 memberships, it shows the cost.
Right. No, there should be one underneath. You scroll down, and there should be something. No, nothing.
No.
Are you logged in as you? Are you?
I am.
Oh, all right, Brian.
So it shows me, so you can buy them in different tiers. 1 membership, 5 memberships, 10, 20, 50, and there's a cost associated with each of those.
Did you give some away already?
No, I read about that feature like months ago, and I was waiting for it to be available. So I wonder if they're only rolling it out to certain channels.
Well, maybe I was gonna say, maybe because I'm at the bottom of the barrel and they just allowed me all of my powers and features, Good
morning, Rich. Yeah, it depends. Birthday books can be a rabbit hole because if you want to collect, like I have my Spider-Man birthday book, but in a given month you could have a lot of books that are published. So I don't know if you want to collect every single birthday book month, books from that month of your birthday, because it could be overwhelming, the amount of books.
I don't think the amount of books is necessarily overwhelming. I think it's a fun challenge, but I think like, oh no, there's some giant keys in my birthday month. That could be real problematic. You're like, yeah, I'm getting a 1.5 of this book. Thank you very much.
Well, good for me. The Spider-Man book for my birthday, Amazing Spider-Man, is sub 100, but it wasn't a key, so it was relatively inexpensive to pick up. So Dale is here. Good morning, Dale.
I
Yeah,
see.
I've heard everybody has said Absolute Wonder Woman is really has been the best book, but like I said, issue 1 just didn't hit it for me.
What issue 1 really tells us everything,
Yeah,
right?
no, it's true. It's true.
And like issue 2 is like really cool, but issue 3, she shows you that even though these circumstances are wildly different, she is still Wonder Woman, you know? And like the sacrifices she makes, the things that she does, you know, Mama Bear Dell, good morning. You know, she demonstrates that she's still Wonder Woman. Issue 3 of Absolute Superman gives us a really good in-depth view of the origin of Absolute Superman, right? So, and again, we have different things happening in his book, and I like it. And you know, I'm very interested in seeing why his powers seem so different.
Yeah, I would expect 1963 Silver Age books are probably an expensive birthday books.
Yeah, Scotty got his most significant birthday book, Daredevil 181. That's pretty solid.
Yeah.
But yeah, that Captain Marvel 38, my God, he's right. The Chattanooga Ghost is a ghost book to find.
Well, you got to you can put an alert, right? You can do if it gets posted on eBay, right? You can
even put an alert on my comic shop if they ever get it in.
Yeah, that's probably two good spots.
Yep. I mean, I certainly would.
You know, but we were talking about New Comic Book Day books. So my LCS here, they still buy their books through Diamond, and so we've been delayed the last 5-6 weeks. So I didn't even pick up my new books. Well, the shop was closed because it was New Year's Day, but he didn't get New Comic Book Day books in until Friday, and it was late yesterday afternoon by the time he got them out on the shelf. So I'm going to go today and pick up my new books from this past week. But with that going on at the shop, and then the fact that they're going to reboot Spider-Man again, I'm wondering, like, do I need some of these books? Do I want to continue to pick them up, every week, the new books, or take some of that money that I'm spending there and focus more on, on back issues this year and try to complete some of the runs that I'm working on. So,
listen, I hear you, and let me tell you something. That new Amazing Spider-Man, that Joe Kelly, JR, I'm already off. I'm already protesting. All right. I'm done. Put John Romita Jr. on anything else already. Get him away from Amazing Spider-Man. All right. Go find someone really cool and amazing and available. All right. Who's going to give us some glorious web spinning freaking tales. All right, and let's do that, okay? And go pick up a writer who can do something with Spider-Man. And sure, okay, fine, he can't have Mary Jane. You got some weird edict about that because you're a bunch of psychos. Fine, but get someone, give them a story that's going to allow Peter to freaking grow for 5 seconds, okay? And let's make it happen. I'm so sick of them. I've publicly blasted them on Twitter and Instagram and every chance. I'm like, stop doing this crap. And also, don't fall for people. I don't care how beautiful the variant cover is. Do not do it. I'm like, we got to stand together. We got to stand together because they are looking to take advantage.
Good morning to John's Comics with Kids.
Good morning, John. I've got a bid out now on a Joe Palooka comic. And so far no one's challenging me for it, and I'm like shaking that I'm gonna win, but also I'm excited that I may win it.
JSS, I had the creator of Collectionary on Breakfast with Brian, I think at the beginning of December, end of November. I did an interview with him. So yeah, I'll have to send that clip. But yeah, they're actually offering Collectionary if you download the app and send them in that interview, they were going to, if you sent them a couple pieces of information, just a review of the app, they will send you out a mystery box of comics. So definitely check that out. Love for comics. I don't know if I mentioned the Indo Nerd.
So I have so many, like my biggest goal is publishing a comic for this year. That's a tremendous goal. But it's so funny because as big of a goal as that is, somehow here making Heroes Con happen feels more tremendous, and I'm just like over here, like every time somebody mentions Heroes Con, I'm like,
It looks like the Heroes Con group is going to be growing this year. I know there's a few others that didn't make it last year that'll be there this year. So it looks like Heroes is going to be the spot to be at again this year.
I hope so, because let me tell you, people have been talking it way. I told Mark, I was like, if Heroes Con turns into a letdown for me, I'm like, that's it. I'm like, and everybody enjoy the hug you're getting, because that's it.
Angry Otter reacts. Good morning. Joseph Michaels here. Good morning. We're still filthy animals. It's the new year. Didn't we shower by now?
I know I have. Good Lord.
Yeah, and there's a few other apps too. Is it Global? There's another app. They don't have Marvel, but they have all of the indies and some DC. Global Comics. So comics with an X at the end, COMIX. They have a bunch of books that you can read online for free, and it's a legit site. It deals with the publishers, so it's not like you're not on the dark web reading comics. And it's free right now. It was free. It's free to join, and you have I don't think it's the latest issues of books, but they have some fairly recent issues of books. So that was a site that I recently discovered in the last couple months.
Nice, very nice.
But yeah, I think a lot of people are kind of. I mean, reading digitally makes it a little bit easier too, because you can zoom in. You can. I know when I was catching up on when I got back into collecting, and I was kind of trying to catch up on the current volume. I guess it was volume 5 of ASM. It was Spencer's run. I was reading it on my iPad and through Marvel Unlimited, and I was able to if I was traveling or whatever, I just had the iPad. It wasn't like I had to carry a stack of floppies or a trade or something around with me. So it made it really convenient to be able to catch up on reading of back issues.
Yeah, I paid for Marvel Unlimited, and that's been helpful. And then another friend sent me a site that's questionable, so I'm not going to talk about it. But unfortunately, the questionable one has actually been way better than needed. So now I'm addicted to the questionable one, and I feel guilty.
No shower. All right, yeah. Nate's already in for a hug. He's in line.
Yes. And I'm not even sure Nate is that far from me.
No, there's I think I know some of the other, I know like Lettuce Comics is in in the area. He's in South Carolina, so there's a bunch of I think we're going to see a lot of new faces this year at Heroes for sure. Yeah, Cafe, you got to get to a local con. I'm sure that's the thing too. Now I'm seeing. So we have another Comic-Con next Saturday or next weekend, which is like 10 minutes for me. Central Carolina Comic-Con. It's looks like it's going to be a pretty big con, but there seems to be shows popping up pretty much, even just smaller like hotel type shows that are popping up all the time now. So Izzy's here. Good morning, Izzy.
Izzy. So, you know, what's really funny is, you know, these, I keep having these cart before the horse moments, you know, where I'm like just dreaming of like what special covers I want for my comic, you know, how I want to do giveaways and all this shit. And I'm just like, finish writing. Right.
So I've got issue number 2 of the Doctor done. I got it printed out here in front of me. So I'm gonna be it's ready. I have it's pretty much ready to go. So I got to I'm gonna do something early, probably sometime in February, to start promoting that. And but yeah, it's not you know it's not inexpensive to create your own book. Let's put it that way.
Yeah. I mean, like, so I was talking with Phil from Philville Comics, and he's just like, he's like everything. He's like, everything you need. He's like, $5,000 should cover everything you need, you know? And I'm like, are you sure? And he's just like, yeah, because he wrote his own book, and, you know, he's self-published, and now he's doing distribution. So I'm like, all right, let me know.
No, it can be, it really depends. For me, what would the biggest cost that I found was the artwork, right? Because
Yeah.
I'm not doing any of the artwork myself. So hiring an artist, that's probably going to be your biggest cost. So Scott mentions here too. Yeah, he's back. Comic Book Addicts is back this coming Monday, the 6th. He's got a big show. Actually, it's an interesting story, and I'm sure Scott's going to get into it. But he did a video a few weeks ago about Mario, and he reached out in conversation, and then here he is now having him on as a guest. So,
yeah,
the power of YouTube. At work. So definitely tune into that with Scott.
I think it's wonderful when someone's Googling themselves, finds a video that's like a decent dedication to them, you know? We're going to find out, aren't we?
Yes, we are. Yeah. Scott, he got a big show, a big return to the Monday night lineup. So definitely need to check that out.
There you go.
Yeah. I know Izzy had reached out to me with Global Comics, and I had already kind of found them, and they were kind of on my radar. So definitely worth checking out, because if you're looking to read legitimately online, that's a site you can do it.
And publish.
Yes, that's the other thing. You can. I put up a copy of The Doctor there as well. So
I love that, and if I have a successful Kickstarter, I'll put a copy up there. So I keep going back and forth, and like one day I'm really gonna try and let the viewers decide, right? Because this really started off of like, oh, haha, I really want to have this adult erotic comic, but I really am drawn to superhero adventure. So I have been thinking of like, do I do like one version that's like PG-13 and one version that's like the full X-rated, and and I don't know. I got to see how people will react to that.
The red band clip version, is that what we're doing?
Yeah, because I just feel like when two of our lead characters break into their friend's flat in London and find a vampire defiling their buddy and eating his flesh, there's a lot of ways that we could do that, and maybe in the censored version, we just don't show the full page splash of the vampire defiling and eating.
Well, there's plenty of horror fans out there, so that'll
Well, so that's the other thing too. Like, I want to do the anthology to kind of set a tone because I'm gonna have like my we battle World War II baddies, like that squad, right? Then something, then like one book will just be occult chasing heroes, right? And so that book is going to be much darker because the heroes in that part of the story are going after the Thule Society, and that means dealing with and tampering with, really horrific pieces of mythology and mysticism, and the havoc that can unleash.
So have you actually started, do you have an artist that you're going to be using for the book or for the stories?
I have a few that I would like.
Okay.
Yes, he's defiling and eating him at the same damn time, Mark. He's deeply defiling and penetrating his victim while eating the flesh off his back. I just feel like we got to set a tone. Dead and Loving It was a lot of fun.
I haven't seen Renfield.
Yes, I would. Angry Otters is got it in line with Joe Phillips' Witch Boys. Yeah, kind of. Joe Phillips has been going through some health issues, and he's going through
Morning, Larry.
Oh my God, it's I keep remembering the technical name, and I can't remember the regular name for your kidneys. Dialysis. He's been going through dialysis.
Okay, yeah.
Thank you, Cat Fan. So yeah, no, Joe Phillips is absolutely someone I would want on art, but health issues being a problem. But there's a few Brazilian artists who I have my eyes on, who I feel can deliver what I want. I want someone to deliver classic Mr. America, Manhood Magazine, Beefcake Magazine. That I want. That's the imagery I want. And we're gonna use my new characters with public domain heroes, and go back to World War II, which is the last time I think. It's the only time in history where it just feels like right and wrong were clear as day, even though there's people in the current timeline that clearly are starting to disagree, and God help me. So yeah, and it's so funny because I was in a very Christmassy mood when I started writing the anthology. So my very first story that I write is this dude battling Krampus in Bavaria during World War II. And of course, the reason Krampus is even around is because someone has gotten a hold of this dark magic tomb, and one of the spells was to release some kind of demonic creature, and they released Krampus. I will not be hiring anyone from the YT community, and you can ask Roscoe about why I hate artists in this community. Because he's already felt my wrath per my appearance on Watt Comics.
The one thing, so on the Doctor 2, I have 2 covers by 2 artists in the community. And those are the only covers I have right now. So I think with sequential pages in the community, some of the artists that we have, I don't know if they could deliver in a certain timeline, because it is a lot. It's a lot different to do a cover as opposed to, in interior pages. So,
yeah, absolutely. Izzy's like, you hate me. I'm like, oh, Izzy, I love you. It's your artwork I hate. And like,
Mr. Spock. Now,
I love you, Izzy.
Izzy, I know you have done some interior stuff like back in the day, but most of the stuff that you do today, but Izzy works fast. That's the one thing about his work. It's quality, but he works on covers. He's fast when he does work. So interior stuff, I'm sure Izzy could work through if his style is the style that you're looking for.
I'd give Izzy a cover, no doubt. I'm not sure if Izzy would want to draw the things that I would be challenging him with for interiors.
Yeah, he's got he's got some young children around the house. He may...
They're not that young, okay? They're like they're tweens. I feel like they could handle half of what I would throw at him. It's the bottom half they might not be able to handle, and Izzy might not be able to handle.
All right. So Cliff, what else? You said, all right, you're making 3 appearances today. You're here with me, Only Slabs, and then you're on. Do you have a link for tonight's show that you're on? What time is that?
That's going to be at 8 p.m. and it's a podcast, but they also do YouTube stuff. So like, I don't know if I'm going to do the podcast first, and I'm just
Well, do they stream it? Do they stream it on YouTube as well, or no?
They do, but I keep looking and I keep not finding any proof that they stream it on YouTube. I'm just like, I'm like, okay, I can find clips or I can find the video from Lunch Money and from Mon, and like I just looked it up before, and like it's not even appear. Like it is so weird that I found their channel, found the videos, and like it's not even properly appearing in my history. It's just very odd to me. I'm like, I just looked this up. I brought it up earlier, and like it's already phantom zoning again on me.
We're talking community artist, and an actual Dracula shows up. One of our favorite community artists.
Well, Dracula, I would give the horror cover to in a heartbeat. And look at what Izzy said. You hate my artwork. I can do interior work. You're right. I'm not doing that kind of work. And I don't hate your artwork, Izzy. That was just a joke.
Yeah. I didn't think Izzy was doing interior stuff.
But also, but I would give Izzy a cover. And that's the thing. Like some people be like, well, why don't you want to use YTRs? And I'm like, because I have a really specific vision in mind, and like, that's it. Like I have a very specific vision in mind. I need an artist that's going to match that image. And like, I'm sorry, I don't see people in our community who are doing like Manhood magazine
right
art.
And if they are, they're not showing it on YouTube.
Right. But if they are, no, Manhood magazine you could show on YouTube. It's just, Yeah, he sent a fantastic portrait of Daredevil in JSS's mystery box. Izzy's does great work. Izzy's speedball that he did for Beckerman blew my freaking mind.
Yeah.
I watched him do a Cobra. 2 times I watched him do a Cobra Commander that also blew my mind.
I have an Izzy, some Izzy art. Oh, yeah. There you go. Izzy did this in like 15 minutes.
Wow.
He just like, that was done. This was done. It was a comic con on Long Island. I'm drawing a blank. Eternal Con, or I forget.
Yeah, I know. But I think it's Eternal Con if it was Long Island.
And see, we've got 23 months.
All right. So Nerdy Musings podcast. All right. And I should be live tonight. It looks like, but they don't have any. Yeah, the lives do not appear on their thing. So Nerdy Musings is their name, MEWZINGS on Instagram. And then I guess the link to their website is nerdymusings.com. So I guess I'll appear that way and the video will appear later. So yay.
All right. I'll post it up on Instagram, or if you get more information, so that we can tune in if we can.
Yeah, I don't know if it's going to be a tune-in thing, but we'll see. All right. See, Izzy can pump out a page. I'll see if I can give Izzy like an innocent page. I could have Tornado. I forgot. There's like a underwater dude who's public domain, you know, like Tex Turbo or whatever the heck his name.
Not the Deep.
No, not the Deep. No.
If you need any stick figures done, Cat Fan can handle that work too. Can you make sexy stick figure mans though, Cat Fan? Is that possible?
And of course, I created a lady character who I really am enjoying developing her background. You know, but she's it's so funny. Like, my intent was to create her for the male gaze, but yeah, I've got like such a full story for her. Like, she's at university in 1933, and she does university sports, and there's people, you know, the Nazis are watching her, and she's stronger than all the men and women. She's faster than all the men and women, right? And they're like, well, this is unnatural. Like, what's different about her? And the Catalyst, yes, Dracula, yes, draw me some Tom of Finland stuff, yes. And he's like, I can draw it all day if that's what it requires. I love that. But like, the catalyst for things happening in this world is this meteorite that crashed all over the earth. So there's this metal, right? And so this special metal, they do different experiments on different people, and it's resulted in various forms of things and technology, right? So this one girl becomes subject to the experiment because they just find her to be genetically superiorly fit. And it's 1933, so they haven't gotten, their foothold is just growing. So, like, you know, she's abducted, she's experimented on, she immediately gains powers to which she uses to escape. And then she gets away from her captors. And she passes out in a field somewhere. She eventually is able to get back to her family, but very quickly, she is very well aware something is terribly wrong in Germany, and she wants to get her family out of there. So the day she's trying to get her family on a boat from Germany that will take them to Canada, and her family's like, why are you sending us all the way to Canada? And she's like, that's where this ship is going, and I need you as far away from here as possible. So she develops her second superpower the day that she's trying to get her family out of Germany. And then she meets a young woman who's really interested in the sciences. And she's fascinated with her, and she actually figures out how her abilities work, like what has changed in her physiology from her exposure to that metal that allows her to command these three very unique, powerful forces. And through that, they're able to work together so that she can command all these powers. And of course, that becomes her girlfriend. So,
very nice.
You know, so she's got this little Nazi scientist geek girl who's just like, oh yeah, no, the Nazis are like super terrible. Like, everybody treats me like garbage, but I love the science. You know?
Good morning to Chris. Steve's here. Matt. Larry's singing now. Now the chat is breaking into the chorus of "I'm Too Sexy."
Yep. It's Right Said Fred, damn it. Right Said Fred. I always want to break out into song, and I'm so afraid of the freaking algorithm. Like, do you know, I kept getting these knocked for a couple videos for some music, and the music was from the open music library on Canva, but those rights don't exist on YouTube.
Gotcha. Right. Yeah.
So I was getting knocked for this stupid little piece. And I'm like, are you kidding me? In the meantime, all the pieces I have of the men swinging around and everything.
Well, it's funny. I uploaded a video yesterday for next week. I was in a comic shop, and I guess there was some music playing. You know, I was filming, you know, the floor and the books on the floor, and I guess there was some music playing in the background that I didn't even notice, and it was very low, and YouTube picked it up, flagged it, and you know, so I had to. I think it was the Gap band was playing in the background, and I had to clean that up because it was giving me an issue with it. So.
Yeah, and then the next thing you know, you're like, all right, well, I'll just erase it, or just erase the music for me, you know, mute that section, whatever. It's just such a thing.
Yeah. And it's interesting too, because I just uploaded another video with some clips, some TV show clips, but I didn't use any of the audio, just the video, and that was fine. That hasn't been flagged.
Did you flip the imagery or distort the imagery in any way?
No.
And right, was it under 8 seconds?
It was, yeah, they were short clips, maybe.
Yeah, okay. I'm pretty sure that we can get away with that. And I want you to know, by letter of the law, you're allowed to use 15. You should be allowed to use 15-second clips of anything for the purpose of review, right?
Okay.
That's
okay.
Like,
yeah, no, that makes sense.
If you are doing something in the form of a review style journalist, you should be able to do that. However, that does not automatically translate to YouTube, right? So like you gotta be in a perpetual fight, which is just freaking great.
Yeah, it's strange with some stuff. You know, it seems anything audio based, music, or even you know, clips from audio from like movies and things will get flagged a lot quicker than, you know, if you have video with voiceover or something over it. And yeah, like you said, as long as it's short. I've even noticed if I use short audio clips, sometimes you can sneak those past as well. So
yeah, the fair use law. See, Izzy knows, but you have to know how to write on the claim. And also,
right.
if you're doing a live stream, right? Like you gotta it just screws you up anyway. So it's just like, so even if you already like try to prep it in your description and all that, your live streams could still get pulled, you know, for whatever.
Yeah, well, I know Scott's been running into some issues with some of his videos because of the subject, you know, what it's the subject matter. But it was interesting. So I did a series of videos that, you know, the 100 sexiest women of comic books, and I broke it down in lists of 20. And so there's 5 videos. I think 2 of them have gone. It looks like the algorithm has picked them up, and then, you know, because I'm getting there's like 2,000 views, and then there's the other 3 that it looked like YouTube just stayed away from. So it's interesting to see, like it's very random how YouTube will do things sometimes.
Yeah, so fun, you know. And every country has different fair use laws. Canada's is more open than that of the United States. So, ooh, Scotty's got a question. Where are those 3 limited?
No, they weren't limited at all. They didn't come up as limited. It just based on views. You know, it looks like, obviously I had one that I just released on Wednesday, and it's at like 2,100 views. And then the previous weeks was I forget how many. I think maybe 100 views. So it's weird where it's the same subject matter, just counting down the list, and it's a couple of the videos got picked up, and a couple did not.
And now Scotty says he thinks they won't push limited monetization as much. But limited monetization, they should be pushing to people over 18 just fine. I don't think, because I have one video that did well that I purposely set to adult ahead of time, you know, because I knew I would be drinking alcohol and all of that. And it did okay. But yeah, I'm not 100% sure. But in theory, it should not. It should just be like, okay, well, this is just not going to be going to children.
Uh-oh, Tony's here. The trouble's here.
Tony.
And Brandon. Morning, Brandon. Yeah, I haven't seen limited, but it was interesting because the, I don't have any data to back this up, but the fact that the sexiest is in the title, it almost seems like, but some of the videos have done well, some have not. So I don't.
Good.
I don't know if I've learned. I don't know if I've learned anything from that experiment.
I'll do sexiest men in comics, and we'll see if in the first hour I get into any trouble, and then I'll report back.
Well, and somebody asked me if I was going to do the 100 sexiest men in comics, and I said, well, I could, but it's going to be Peter Parker and Spider-Man, 100 times. So
we also have Sexy Santa this year.
That's right, we do.
Let's not forget Sexy Santa.
Gene is here too. Good morning, Gene.
Or Sweet Paprika.
No, that's
now, mind you, that cover that I just showed you, provocative as it is, that's the red band cover for Sweet Paprika. There's no genitalia, no nothing. Red band cover for that book.
That's weird.
But there's not a bias. No, Cliff, it's in your head. It's in your head, Cliffy.
So just taking a look too. I know Philtastic was not live this morning, but John's Comics with Kids will be live at 11:30.
17 minutes and 23 seconds.
Yeah, let me drop that.
We can fill that gap, Brian. We can do it.
Yes. There's the link for John. He'll be live in a little bit, so definitely want to go check him out.
By the way, like my crowns, I love them. I don't know if anyone's noticed. I've had my crowns for a couple of years, but I found my crowns on freaking Amazon, and they were like $17, and I think it was even less when I ordered 2 of them. And I just love these things. Just love it.
Phil has a question. Do you know what female reindeer do on Christmas night? I don't.
I imagine they get a break from being Santa's breeding ground.
They
go
into town to blow a few bucks.
Oh, that's okay. I get it.
Phil will be here all week. Try the veal.
Yo, Rad Comics, I too want a throne. They're expensive.
He's looked into it.
Oh, yeah, I have. And again, also, you could get one on Amazon, but they're pricey. It's really upsetting.
So will you be wearing the crown today on Only Slabs?
I'm thinking about it. The thing is like, it's funny, right? Because the joke, like, what's the slogan, the old saying, the crown wears heavy? Like, this thing, like, it's like right now, like, oh, this is cute, whatever, right? But like after an hour, it really starts to get on you, and it's like,
But it looks good.
It does. I love these. I have the pink one somewhere too, but like, I want it to be a little more butch this year. Bring some straight Cliff into it. You know what I mean? I love whenever I'm doing straight Cliff, and Mark is like, "Is that what you think old straight people sound like?" And I'm like, "Yeah, that's kind of what you guys sound like."
Yeah.
I was like, if you don't sound like that, you sound a lot gayer than you think, and I hate to tell you this.
Only crowns?
Only crowns. Ooh, I like that. My OnlyFans this year is going to be out of control.
So is that how we're saving money for heroes and for?
Yeah, you know what? It's all about supplemental income. You know, and
Gotta have
making
a side hustle going, right?
and making sure that your full-time job doesn't know about it.
Yeah.
And Mark with the cherry. I don't know. You know, like we'll see if Mark wants his berries on my only crowns. Also, I don't know how I could feel about like all the head motion, my neck, and the crown at the same time. Like I gotta make sure like this is Bobby pinned in tightly. The only throne I know is the one you flush. Yeah. We may all have
that's
been
the case. You know, all of us own thrones, right?
So true. So true. I've got to avoid comic shops online. Like it's just so like I get notifications from Shortbox, from eBay, from my comic shop, and it is a nightmare, you know. And then I realized because I was like, hey, I spent just under $2,000 this year between my comic shop and eBay. That's pretty good. And then I was like, oh, but how much did I spend on whatnot? Oh, but how much did I spend on Shortbox? Oh, but how much did I spend at those couple of cons that I went to? And then
Right.
like, you know, you start adding it up and you're like, oh, I'm in a lot of trouble.
Right. Yeah. I know I was doing that. I went through and was looking at what I just spent at my local LCS. That was around. It wasn't that bad. I thought it would be more. It was only about $1,200 this year. But like you said, then you start thinking of all the other places that you buy comics from, and slabs and things, and it gets out of control pretty quick.
So yeah. So on average, Brian, what I spent at the comic book store, the total for the year would come out to $2,470. So when I look at numbers like that, I start thinking, yeah, I had to delete whatnot from my phone too. But I started thinking at $2,470, I start thinking, do I really need to buy new comics?
Right.
You know? So
yeah, and that's the struggle that I have is saying, well, if I take that money that I'm spending on new comic books, I could, you know, complete some of the older runs that I'm working on, you know, and so, you know, and thinking about it, like, not that I'm a speculator, but you know, are the new comic book day books you're buying, ultimately, will they have the same value in 20, 30 years as the books from the Spider-Man from the Silver Age, or, you know, Bronze Age Spidey? I don't think so. I mean, what are some of the big books over the last, you know, 5, 6 years that are like mainstay, you know, characters? There's not, you know, maybe the Geiger universe has legs. You know, Ghost Machine, some of those first appearance characters over the years, but you know, from like Marvel or DC, what are the big? Do we have any big?
The absolutes, the ultimates, and of course, specific variant covers. You know, like Wolverine having his head lopped off. You know, and even then, it's only of real value if you've got that 9.8. $40 a year, quit being a lightweight. You know, screw you, Mark. I was like, oh, lightweight, that's a lot. And that's on average, because some weeks is a lot. Like yesterday, I spent 66, you know, like, and that wasn't it. Like, and I spent, I think this week, my total for this week with 2 trips to the store was like 86, you know, and like, that's not good. And this is from someone who wants me to go to Heroes Con.
Well, right, $2,400 is your Heroes Con budget right there.
You know, and then he wants to take a knock at Ultimates, right? The new ones or the ones from that was done 2 decades ago. And yeah, I know that all came crashing and burning. But the point is, I enjoyed reading many of them then, and I enjoy reading the ones I'm reading now. And hopefully we get another success at the end of it, like Miles Morales, because that's it. At the end of all of that stuff, all we got at the end was Miles Morales.
Well, it's interesting. I went through my CLZ app for the year and just sorted by, publish date. So I think that the highest value comic book, new comic book that I picked up this year was Ultimate Spider-Man #1. At least, current market value. Ultimate Spider-Man is still #1, is still around $75.
Bro,
that's about what it's going for. But most of the other, books that I picked up were all, cover, basically their values cover price.
Yeah.
So Eddie's here. Good morning, Eddie.
Eddie from the back cave. Love you, Eddie.
So I think definitely a focus on older books is, if that's, if you're looking to collect and read and keep up with stories, then, new comic book every week may be the way to go.
See, look, Izzy's right. Ultimates and absolute books will not hold value. They're overprinted. Yeah. And multiple printings. It's like there's no joke. Like Ultimate Spider-Man 1, I don't know. How many printings did it get to? 6 printings or something? I lost
more than that. I think it's because I just picked up some S. Vaughn wanted to get rid of his Ultimate Spider-Man, so I picked him up, and he had, I'll tell you, look at my CLZ app here. I think Ultimate Spider-Man #1 had 8 printings. Let's see.
And then we got Void Rivals and Transformers with 10 printings of each.
Let's see. Ultimate Spider-Man. Where is it? Fourth printing. I don't know. It's not. It was the fourth printing blank variant. Yeah, I mean it's and they're rolling out a number of variant covers for Ultimate Spider-Man as well. So
there you go. So
Lady Fantastic's here. Good morning. Check out Lady Fantastic dropped her yearly kind of mental health check-in video. Definitely go check that out if you haven't watched that yet. Definitely a good, always good to hear people in the community talking about some real life stuff. So
yeah, I know that I appreciated it. And we had a lovely mental health chat the other day while I was at work. I was like, hold on, I have a meeting. I'm going to get back to you. Because I was even telling a friend of mine last night, there was someone we worked with many years ago, and he definitely had some issues, and I wish we were more understanding then, but there was only one thing that ever came up that he told us that was true, that sounded like it was the type of thing that would have broken him, and that he did not have the support he needed to deal with and confront that issue, right? And so to this day, I just feel bad. I really wish I had known more then to try to offer him a helping hand and a little bit of insight. But what can you do? But I feel really bad because we were trying to figure out what was wrong with this guy? Why was this? Why did he always have this one problem? And but I think that problem developed after a very bad incident in his life.
Mm. So lady says you explained men to her.
Yeah. I mean, and it's funny because like you kind of do, because it's men explaining men is really difficult because they shut we are almost nearly every generation is conditioned to be like shut it out, you know? And like
Yeah,
obviously
no, that's true.
the last two generations have really tried to kind of like come through the weeds on that, but there's still a lot of it. You know? And obviously everybody else is going through their crap. So, you know, men usually, you know, tend to fall by the wayside, like statistically, and like, but the statistics are telling you my slogan, men are not okay.
Well, yeah. I mean, I would always joke with my wife and family and that, and some of it was true, but it was always I was, you know, me, the dad, the father, the husband always got lower on the priority list, right? We had, you know, my wife, the kids, the dogs, and then there was me. You know, everything else takes priority, and part of that was joking with them, but also, you know, part of that was real. Sometimes we, you know, we sacrifice some of our own, you know, stuff, own feelings, and that kind of stuff to make sure that others around us that are taken care of. So yeah, no, there's some truth to that.
And not to mention, unfortunately, our experiences are very formative. I got to tell you that I was severely let down by men in my life when I was weak, right? And of course it's worse yet, it's not from men who are expected to treat me that way, right? So like that was brutal, and the only thing it conditioned my mind for was that, oh, you should never be that vulnerable in front of a romantic interest ever again. You know, like that's what it conditioned me for. On the other hand, both times that I was having a severe mental issue, it was friends of mine who dragged me out of the house and made me go to work with them. So, I mean, there's that too.
It's interesting. We have two conversations going on in the chat. We have what we're talking about, the mental health, and then we've got Mark and Issy and a few others still talking about comic books.
Yes.
It's just funny to see the chat go.
No, it is. It's like, yeah, those old Ultimate books are overprinted. Ultimate Fantastic Four #1's got 100,000 printings, you know. But also try to find a 9.8 of that Ultimate #1. I love men. I want to be their advocate. I don't want those to be buttheads to me either. Yeah, it's true.
Yeah. it's just so funny watching the chat to see the two distinct topics being discussed. I love it.
Yeah, thank you for sharing, Eric Martinez. It's true. It is. It's all difficult. It's difficult seeking the help. It's difficult opening up.
Comics help. Yeah, Eric
Comics help.
Comics
and
help.
By the way, I don't know if you've noticed that with people opening up on videos, but on two very interesting videos, someone told the story of how comic books saved their life. You know, one guy was absolutely going to go home and end himself, and it was an issue of New Teen Titans #1 that saved him. Another gentleman was going to go home and end himself and his father. And it was an issue of Superboy and the Legion of Superheroes that saved him.
Wow.
And he actually does printed shirts. And of course that mostly feature the Legionnaires. But all the proceeds from his website for making those t-shirts and everything, all of it go to help homeless youth.
That's good stuff. So we did it. We stretched till 11:30. Now I dropped the link for John. He's going to be live, so definitely go check out John's Comics with Kids this morning.
I've got his chat open in the other window.
So, Cliff, what else? Only slabs this afternoon. You've got the podcast tonight. What about what's
Tomorrow,
the Sunday plans?
5 p.m. I should be on with the Council of Comics, but I also have a family thing to deal with, so that could make it messy. 9 p.m. I'll be on with Black Crown. The Council again, 8 p.m. Monday. Tuesday, I'm on with Paul in the 619. Wednesday, back with the Council at 8 p.m. And then the following week, let's rinse and repeat Sunday, Monday, Wednesday. And then that Wednesday, I'll also be on Sector 2815 for Guess That Key. So,
Cliff, there's your live stream slut for January. Let's put it that way.
I am. And next Saturday, I'll have a special guest for Comics and Coffee with Cliff, where I'm fine-tuning that out in the DMs right now.
Oh, very nice. My birthday, too. My birthday next Saturday. So, all right. So, everybody jump. Cliff, thanks so much for hanging out with me this morning, kicking off the return to Saturday mornings. I appreciate you coming on and chatting with us.
I'm happy to be here. Thank you for having me and helping me to try and break my previous January record.
And thanks to everybody in the chat. We had a bunch of people hanging out with us this morning. Appreciate everybody being here. Like I said, yeah, go jump over to John's channel. Go hang out with John. Just John. The kids don't want to hang out with him anymore, so it's just really John. But it's okay. But we're going to leave you with the dance stylings of Mr. One Dr. Von Hoot.
From the spiral dimension.